What's up, Christina?
What's up, Steven? How are you?
I'm fantastic. How are you today?
Doing well. Getting better by the moment.
By the moment.
Welcome to TheAirFresheners.
Welcome
this
back.
Is episode 10.
10. We made it to 10 episodes.
Woo,
High five.
We did it. Double digits.
Oh, yeah.
Dang.
Next step, triple digits.
Yeah, we're on our way at this rate with quarantine.
This is a very special episode.
So special.
Not really. It's a special episode.
It is kind of special.
It's a hot topic for both of us.
It is. We kind of brought it up, well, in my episode.
Mm-hmm. We were trying to figure out what we both liked more, and you like something total opposite of what I like.
Yes. So today we're going to be talking about older women versus younger men.
Yes. Older women are the best.
Yeah, they are. Actually, I was like, do I agree with that? And I'm like, yes.
Yeah,
because I'm going to be one.
You already are one.
I set myself up for that. I did.
I was waiting
really
on that
one. Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Okay, so, Steven, why don't you tell me about your type?
Okay, well, my type usually is the short, small, petite brunettes, and I really like older women. Most people that know me personally know I really have a thing for older women, but it goes back to when I worked at Publix.
The Big P.
The Big P.
I won't interrupt anymore. Go ahead.
And I worked in a place where there was basically no one other than like 90-year-old women and 40-year-old women.
Oh.
Yeah. Venice.
Oh, yeah,
so,
true.
Nothing but old people.
Yeah.
So working basically full-time as a cashier, a bagger, the only thing I ever saw was like these older women or these like middle-aged women. So eventually I think you adapt, and then all of a sudden I'd start getting the hot soccer moms coming through my line, and I was like, you know what? And I was working with a really close friend at the time, and me and him were always on the same register, and we would always just talk about these hot soccer moms that came through. So my taste for older women started to develop there.
Wow.
And I had an older woman. I've had older women, but I had an older woman.
You had one?
When I was 18, and
Oh.
she was, I believe, 56.
Wow.
Yeah, and that was a thing for like 3 or 4 months.
Could be like your mom.
Yeah, she was older than my mom at the time.
Nuh-uh.
But she was so attractive. Like,
That's nuts.
she was super short, really petite, brunette. I think she was a Libra. And
How long did that last?
It was like 3 or 4 months.
Wow.
Yeah, she developed feelings.
Really?
And then we like stopped. But yeah, it was a great time.
I bet that was fun.
Yeah, it was a really good time.
Until the feelings started.
Yeah, I learned a lot.
You're like, I need to put up distance.
Yeah. What about you? What's your experience?
So, as I have mentioned, I go for the young ones. And I'm trying to pinpoint when that started. Because in high school, I dated people older than me. And then I had a few long-term relationships with older men. Not older, like
70.
4 years older than me. And then, I don't know when I guess I was like maybe 19 or 20. It was after like my serious relationship ended. And I was like, you know what? I'm going to test this out. And I ended up loving it. I don't know. Like I like them younger. And the older I get, I'm like, this is really working for me. I like what it is, I think men already are pretty dominant already in a relationship. So, or like any sort of, like connection. So to just have something that's like, I'm older, I'm wiser, I feel like that kind of gives me, some power.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I like to be like in a place of like equal, like say, I guess. So I don't ever want to feel like I don't know as much, or I don't know. So I like them younger because I'm like, hey, I could teach you how to do this. And like, I don't know. I like the dominance, I guess. So
It's definitely like when being a younger guy too, like there was a few people that were in like their late 20s and like in their 30s from the time I think I was like 18 to 21. And I was so drawn to them because it was just like that, like they're more knowledgeable, they're more comfortable. And one of the biggest turnoffs about girls my age at that point was like they weren't comfortable. Like they like some of them were like self-conscious about like taking their shirt off, and then other like didn't want to try anything. So I was like, well, older women are down for everything.
Yeah.
So like older women it is.
Dang, that's so true. I never really thought of it like that. But yeah, you're right, because like I feel like especially back then, if it was like when you were 18, 19, that's such an like interesting time to like learn self-confidence and like be like sexually like okay with yourself. So yeah, older women have a lot of experience, so they're just like yeah. No, it makes sense.
And what do you think, actually no, how many younger guys have you had? Or
I'm trying to figure out like a number.
Maybe not an exact number, but
I'm not giving like body count numbers. Just in general.
Just a fair amount of like younger guys.
Okay.
That you've, like had
I would say
experience with.
like maybe close to like 7 or 8.
Okay, like significantly younger
Yeah,
guys.
I feel like I just end up like I don't even know, but they
Yeah.
end up being younger. So
Do you think
That's
they
fun.
all have like the same kind of energy towards you? Like, oh, this hot like older woman is like coming after me. Like, is it the same kind of?
Yeah, maybe it's like a compliment to them that
Yeah.
I like am interested. The youngest guy I think was like 5 years younger than me, so I was 24 at the time and he just turned like 19. So that felt interesting. But like I don't know, I was just like maybe this is a little bit too young, maybe not, I don't know. It was just different. It felt like we were on like different generations almost. Like 5 years is really not that much, but like 24
at the
and
younger age, like 5
19.
years makes a big difference.
Yeah.
Because like if it like for example if like someone that's in like their freshman year of high school compared to like the senior year, like that's like the worst thing
So
ever.
different.
But
Yeah.
then as soon as you get out from like 20 to 25 or like 25,
Right. It doesn't really matter.
Yeah, it's all about the
Yeah,
same.
then it just starts to like not really matter as much. But yeah, because he had like just gotten out of high school and I was like, he had graduated the year like 6 months prior
Yeah.
to us hooking up, and I was like, I'm literally about to be 25. Like that's crazy. I don't know, it just was like high school was so, it just felt like so long ago. So I don't know, very interesting,
Yeah.
but it works. Right?
Oh yeah.
It's fine.
Oh yeah.
So I actually found an article to like support my
Okay.
type.
Let's hear all about it. Let's hear about that young
Okay,
type.
so let's see. Sarah Hunter Murray is a PhD. Myths of Desire. I like that.
Myths of desire.
Yeah, I don't know what that means. Maybe it's a book, but it's an article on Psychology Today, and it says 3 reasons why women might want to be with younger men. So blah, blah, blah. She did a study on women between the ages of like 30 and 60, and they had all had to be like in relationships with younger guys of at least like 5 years younger than them. She interviewed 55 women, blah, blah, blah. Okay. So, number 1, women were attracted to younger men's sexual stamina. That's also pretty accurate.
Yeah.
Because it's like the younger, the more like energetic they are.
I've heard that from like a few older women too. They said that like guys their age, it's like say for example, like if you finish, like they can't bounce back in 5 to 10 minutes, but like us as younger guys, it's like 10 minutes, I'm right back.
They're like ready to
and
go
then
again.
after the next round, it's 10 more minutes, I'm right back.
Huh. That like, I mean, there's a study on it now, but it's true. What else? 2, women felt more comfortable embracing their sexual assertiveness. And that goes back to what you said, that older women are more comfortable, like, just being themselves.
Yeah.
So I feel like that kind of goes the same way. Like, for me, I feel like I can be more assertive if the guy's younger. Because it's like, I know what I like, and I can tell them that. But for some reason, like an older guy, I feel more in a like submissive role for some reason.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I feel like I don't know, like if I'm like an older guy, like I see myself in the future, like probably like not like a sugar dad, but like younger women I think are always going to appeal to like older men. And like if I'm ever hooking up with like a younger woman, like I think it'd be weird to have like a young woman dominating me, especially if I'm like I mean, maybe it'd be fun, but like you just don't like think of that.
You don't think of it like that. And the gender thing is like such a big part of it.
Yeah.
Because you don't feel that way.
No.
You know? So, I don't know. I just feel like the gender roles do like play a
really
part
does
in
play
that.
a difference in that.
Let me see what the third one was. 3. Women felt able to place greater importance on their own sexual pleasure. And if you listen to my episode, I was like, the question you asked me was like, would you rather like give or receive? What was it? Give or receive?
Give or receive pleasure for the rest of your life.
Yeah. And I was like all about just like receiving. Like I can just like lay back and not have to give anything the rest of my life. Works for me. So like that, I mean, that kind of makes sense that like women feel like they get to have a say in like finishing too, you know?
Yeah.
Because sometimes, I mean, I've been in a situation where like it's not even, it was when I was younger, but like that wasn't even like a thought. Like the guy doesn't like think of the woman at all.
Yeah.
And that could just be like, that's not just older men. Like that's just like
a lot of guys.
Inexperience. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Or if they just don't care about like me feeling that way. So.
And like divorced couples too, like women that I've talked to that have been married before, and like most people that you talk to that like after you're married past a certain point, the sex just goes down. It seems like a unanimous thing across the board for 99% of marriages. I could be wrong, but so far I don't think I'm wrong.
Seems like that. Like,
so it's like, why would you get married if you know your sex life is going to tank? I mean, that's my perspective now being 24.
It's like, unless you're like open to like having other people like join you or whatever,
to spice
but
it up or something.
Not a lot of people are like into that.
Yeah, but like if you are like married with someone and you like have figured each other out and you've like done that, and then like, you know, life gets in the way, you like stop having exciting sex, and then it just turns out to be boring missionary sex, and you're like, wife's faking an orgasm, or you guys are just doing it to get off for 5 minutes, and then that's the only sex you've had. So like if you find an older woman, for example, who like just got out of a marriage, she's like all about the younger guy that like wants to do nothing but like have a good time with her. So
because that's like new and refreshing. So
feels good to make an older woman feel young again.
Yeah, so. That's definitely like an ego boost for you.
Yeah,
for sure.
Just a little bit.
I feel like going for younger guys is an ego boost for me too. I'm just like, ooh, I still got it. As if I'm like 40. You're so old. Almost. I'm not far off. So I don't know. I feel like, but also I feel like my type changes quite a bit. Like this has been like a steady like pattern for me for like 5 or 6 years now. I think once I was in my 20s, that's when that started. And I like dated a guy for like almost 2 years that was younger than me. But maybe that's what started it. I don't know.
Could be.
It's
a good place to start.
Yeah. I was like used to that. So we'll see. Maybe it'll change again. I might reverse or, you know, do the exact opposite and start going for like 50. Actually, guys, like older guys, like it freaks me out. Like, I don't know.
It seems like that's like a lot of girls that like want sugar daddies and stuff like that like I've talked to. They're like, I want one, but then as soon as they go to like get dinner with the guy that's like 50, they're just like,
It's like I don't find it attractive. Yeah. Unless he's like really hot. I mean, then it's fine. But like they're not just like strolling around. Yeah. You know, I feel like older women are definitely more attractive than older men.
Oh yeah. Because most of them still got it. Like they don't have beer bellies and like they're just like
they haven't let themselves go.
Because that's much. Like one of the only things that like they're still holding on to. Sometimes it seems like. Yeah. And like you can tell that. The best way to word that. Like some older women that are out, like I'm just gonna say this because I've been told this before by an older woman. Okay. Some older women that are out, they know that like their beauty is like fading from what they had back when they were like 20 or 30 years old. So like they're still holding on to like that last little bit. So like I still find women that are like 50, late 50s, like still gorgeous, because like you can still see like the beauty with them,
Mm-hmm.
and like they know that they're still holding on to it. So like being able to bring that back out of them again, and like letting them know like you're still sexy, like you're still gorgeous, like you still
Yeah.
turn me on,
Right.
like it's just a really special
Like
it's a special connection.
Yeah. I also feel like it's really sad that women feel like the only thing that's beautiful is younger. You know, I feel like our like society is slowly changing. Like I think it's getting better, but like I don't know, that really sucks that like the like example for like beauty is like, you know, women that are 18 to 35 or 40. Like that just doesn't, like that's not real, you know? Like look at freaking Jennifer Aniston. She's 50 and she's like killing it, you know? Like I feel like women like that, obviously she's like famous, so she's probably had work done or whatever, but like you don't like, she's just like an icon for being beautiful, and she was like in Friends and like everything else, but like she's getting prettier with age. I think like she's just so hot, so it's like, and she's an Aquarius, ayo, maybe I'll age well. But yeah, so I don't know, I feel like it is changing, but like it sucks that women feel like they just like expire after a certain amount of time. So
do you notice that there's any like negatives to dating a younger guy, or any issues that would come up between like the age gap?
For sure, like immaturity, because guys are already like, so if I was to date someone my age, they're already like the saying is like 3 years or 4 years behind. Like they're just not as mature as women. So sometimes I run into like, that scared me so much. It's my dad. I will call him back. So yeah, I feel like sometimes there's like jealousy issues, or almost like
Insecurity.
Yeah, insecurity is like a good word, because it's like I feel like I'm a very like independent person anyway, so in situations where like I like to do something by myself, or like I don't invite them somewhere, these are just like examples that like when I want to like have my independence, and like sometimes that doesn't like register the right way. It's like almost a personal problem, you know, like it's not about them, it's just that like I like to be alone, you know. So I don't know if that goes with like the younger age, but like it could be.
Yeah, I would say from my experience too, in like previous relationships, from how much I've grown from the time I was like dating when I was 16 to 18 to like 20 to like my most recent relationship. Like every relationship that's happened, I've gotten more carefree about like what my partner's doing. I'm not insecure she's like going out and hanging out with guys anymore. I'm like encouraging it. I'm like, yeah, go have fun, do your thing. Like there's much more of a sense of security that you develop within a relationship, and you stop taking the female off a pedestal as you grow, or at least I have. So
yeah,
like I have some friends that are like in their late 20s and they're still like, oh, she was texting this guy, or like whatever. It's just like,
the more you hold on to like trying to control people, the more those people are going to be out of control. And I learned that pretty early. Like one of my like first very serious relationships, it was probably my longest relationship, it was like 3 years, and like the more we tried to control each other about like who we talked to, and it was a long distance relationship, so it was just like a mess. It was really unhealthy.
It's always the worst.
Yeah, so like I feel like the more we tried to have power over each other, the more we resented each other too. So it's awesome that like as you grow up, I mean, some people don't. Some people are just like insecure and jealous people, so they're always looking for that control.
Keeping their partner in a cage all the time.
Yeah, but I think
like, now that I caught you, I'm going to keep you in a cage, and you're never going to go anywhere because you're all mine.
Also, some people like to feel wanted that way.
Yeah, that's
you
true.
know? Like, I mean, it doesn't matter if it's like male or female, but like emotionally, almost emotionally abusive, like relationships, like some people are used to that, so they gravitate towards it and they look for it in like all their relationships. So I think it's just about like finding these patterns, or like even recognizing something that like keeps happening for you, and like actually making a conscious effort to like stop picking people like that. You know, so it's interesting. I feel like you have to unlearn so many like patterns from like childhood when it comes to dating, because I feel like they go hand in hand. Like the like behavior or how you were treated as a kid, I feel like results in like the type of people you choose.
Oh yeah, for sure. And like there's a lot of stuff that goes back to like the type of relationship you experience from your parents. That's what you like look for, even if you're not intentionally looking for it. Like if you're like if one of your parents is like abusive towards the other parent, like you might naturally go and try to find things that fit that pattern.
Yeah.
Because that's just how you learn like what love is or like
Right.
what a relationship should be. So it's like you're spending most of your time just unlearning those things as you go along.
And it's really hard to do because it's a lot of stuff you don't even like recognize sometimes.
Yeah.
Also, just realized that my mom is older than my dad.
Really?
Yeah, so maybe that plays.
Yeah. I think
a
my
role.
mom's 5 years apart from my dad too.
Really?
Yeah.
Is she older or younger?
Older.
She is? That's
Yeah.
cool.
Yeah.
Wow. So, I have a question for you.
I have an answer for you.
Okay, great. What do you feel like is the biggest difference between like being with a younger woman and an older?
Maturity for sure. Like younger girls are still pretty mature, but like I've dated younger than me, and like the maturity level is definitely like a significantly noticeable thing. I've been on dates with women that are in their 30s, and like it's fun. And then I've been on dates with women that are in like their early 40s, late 40s, and like every 5 to 10 years is like a significant difference in maturity.
Really?
And this one that I went on a date with like 4 separate times, I gave her my number in a coffee shop, and she was 41 or 42. She was super attractive. She was blonde though. She was super attractive.
Yeah.
And like it went well, but there was just such a disconnect between us about like what we were trying to talk about. And like I'm very like, I want to know all about you, like asking questions, like great conversation, all that stuff like that.
Yeah.
She was very like reserved, and she was just at such a high level in her life that it was hard for me to like
Reach that.
properly poke into it without it sounding like I was like interrogating her.
Gotcha.
So like as long as I guess there's not too much like getting to know each other, it's
Then
easy.
it's fine.
It's pretty easy. But after
Like
that,
keeping it simple.
yeah, it's oh yeah, I went out to the bars with my friend the other night, or like I'm hanging out with this friend, and it's like conversation. There's just a big disconnect on that for
Yeah.
sure.
That makes sense.
Yeah,
Because it's like you're on two different like levels.
yeah,
So I feel like even cultural things, like she understands things differently than you do, and like vice versa.
Oh, she was super involved in politics, and I was just like,
and you're just like,
I don't
I
really
hate
have anything
that.
else to say.
that just sounds like
Yeah.
not that great of a time.
She cared about a whole bunch of like really important like world events and things like not climate change, but something relevant to that. And like I care about those things, but I'm not that involved. So
Right.
yeah.
It's like the conversation doesn't go very
Yeah.
far.
Yeah.
Makes sense. It is what it is. It's good to date. I think it's amazing, like, to get to know what you like in other people, and, you know, just like making connections and figuring out what you like too.
Yeah.
You know, like, I don't know. I feel like the people that are with one person or two people, like, you don't really get to like figure yourself out. You
Yeah.
know, you just kind of like, yep, this is that person. Like, this is what I get, you know?
Yeah.
So
Very true.
that's good. It helps you grow for
Yeah.
sure. For sure.
So you think you're always gonna like your younger guys
For right now.
for right now?
I feel like I will. I feel like since this is already a pattern and I'm in my mid-20s, then I'll probably take this with me.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
I'm sure by the time I'm like 40, I'll probably be looking at younger women though. At
yeah,
that
it's
point.
gonna reverse for
Yeah.
you at some point. The older you get, I feel
Yeah.
like you're not gonna be 40 looking for like 80-year-olds.
Yeah, nah. Probably not. Someone told me that older women are like fine wine, or like a muscle car, like a classic muscle car. Like it's just that like classic aged appeal, and like
Yeah.
yeah,
No, that is true.
yeah.
I'm so glad you just compared women to cars.
It was an analogy that someone gave me. I'm using it.
I like the fine wine though. That's
Yeah,
good.
Yeah,
That's good.
it's a good thing. And classic cars. Who doesn't love classic cars? They look great. Anyways.
Okay, well, this was a great conversation.
Great conversation.
I feel like we'll build on this a little bit. I'm sure it'll come up in more conversations.
Maybe in the future, if we both go on dates with, like, you go on another date with, like, a younger guy and I go on a date with an older woman, we can break down the experience on the podcast.
We can compare notes.
Yeah.
Oh my God, that's such a good idea.
That'd be awesome.
Yeah, we should.
We'll do that.
I'll just bring a notebook.
Yeah.
Be like, I have to write this down for the podcast.
It's for podcast.
It's fine.
Just pretend like it's not here.
I'm just getting this down. That would be so funny. But I feel like we should. It's a good like social experiment, you know.
Definitely.
Awesome.
But
well, thank you for listening.
Thank you for listening, and we'll be giving you some more episodes soon.
Soon. All right.
Yeah.
Adios.